So I've said on numerous occasions that the 2025 Formula 1 season is going to be a really entertaining one. In fact, the end of 2024 was really good as well. We had 3 constructors relatively close to each other by the end of the season. These, of course, being McLaren, Ferrari, and Red Bull. And also at times we saw Mercedes getting the odd win here and there too, to make it 4 different constructors and 7 different drivers who all won multiple races, not just one race, but multiple races, at least 2 throughout the season. And Lando Norris, one of the contenders for the 2025 World Championship, in my opinion, he is predicting a crazy 2025 season and seeing victories from outside the big 4, the top 4 teams that I just mentioned. Let's have a look at what he said here. I doubt we'll see winners outside of those 4 teams, but crazier things have happened. And if you told me that the likes of McLaren were going to be able to challenge for the championship last season, I wouldn't have believed you at the start of the season, especially after the first few rounds. So let's have a look at what he said here. Full article on the F1Chronicle.com, guys. Lando Norris is calling it. 2025 could see Grand Prix winners bleed past the usual suspects of McLaren, Ferrari, Red Bull, and Mercedes. Speaking before the F1 75 live spectacle at the O2 Arena, the McLaren ace said the field's tightening grip, fueled by unchanged rules, might crack the top 4's lock on victory lane. After Red Bull's 2022-23 reign, last season's 7 winners from those elite teams, Norris, Piastri, Leclerc, Sainz, Verstappen, Hamilton, and Russell, all hinted at a shift. Now, Norris sees the rest of the grid closing in. I think it's everyone's expectation from within Formula 1, Norris said, laying out the stakes. Every year, the rules don't change. Every time the regulations don't change, it gets closer and closer. That's just the way it's always worked. He's got history on his side. 2024's late surge saw the gap shrink. It already got pretty close at the end of last year, and you already started to see the middle pack. Well, most of the grid apart from the top 4 teams. The other 6 teams, you already started to see them catching up and getting closer and closer, he added. Think Haas nabbing points, Alpine sniffing the podium in Brazil. That's the vibe. Norris doubled down. I probably only expect there to be even more the case over the winter and probably into this season. I think you're probably going to have this season where there are some winners that aren't McLaren, Ferrari, Mercedes or Red Bull, which I think is a good thing for F1 and a good thing for the fans. And he's not just hyping it, he's jazzed. I'm looking forward to it because I think it's not going to just be a fight for the usual guys, he said. It's going to be a different year, maybe not at the very beginning, but certainly through the season. We'll see it shake up a little bit more. An upset in Baku, a stunner in Singapore. Norris smells blood, and he's, like I said, he's going to be going for the championship this year, as is Oscar Piastri, who is also on the same wavelength as well. If you look at the back end of last season, with how many different winners from different teams there were, it's all pointing towards a very tight season, he said. The Aussie, who snagged his first win in Hungary last year, knows the drill. Going from track to track, you're not going to know. Pretty much all of last year, we thought we would be in the mix for a win, but we didn't really know who the main competitor was going to be, and it changed every weekend, he said. I'm expecting more of the same. One week it's Ferrari in Monza, the next it's Red Bull in Austin. Piastri's bracing for a wild ride in 2025. Buckle up everybody, it's going to be a bumpy ride. McLaren's riding high after clinching the 2024 Constructors' Championship, their first since 1998, with Norris and Piastri banking 6 wins between them. Verstappen, gunning for a 5th straight driver's crown, kept Red Bull in the hunt, but the gap's razor thin. McLaren's 669 points edged Red Bull's 645, and Ferrari were about 5 behind McLaren in the end, something like that. It was really close. Norris sees the chasing pack, Alpine, Aston Martin, and maybe even Williams ready to pounce as upgrades hit over the season. Last year's midfield creep has outscored Sauber 31-4, backs his hunch. For fans, it's a dream script. For McLaren, it's time to deliver a Drivers' Championship title with Norris and Piastri, 25 and 23 years of age respectively, bringing youth and hunger. Testing kicks off this week in Bahrain, then it's Melbourne in a few weeks' time, where we go green in the middle of March 14th to March 16th. Norris isn't wrong, this could get messy, and he's here for it, as are we, of course. Yeah, like I said many times, I'm really looking forward to this season. I think it's going to be an absolute stunner. I think it is a bit optimistic to expect any team from outside the top 4 to get wins, but I'm not ruling out podiums. I'm not ruling out podiums to the likes of, in particular, of course, Aston Martin. I think they're most likely to be the closest to that. Williams, Haas, probably a bridge too far. I don't really see that personally, but like I always say, stranger things have happened at the end of the day, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's bound to be very exciting. And of course, we've got Bahrain testing as well. As you guys view this, it'll be out on the same day as when testing starts, I do believe. So yeah, we'll very much bring you plenty of coverage when it comes to that on the F1Chronicle.com. As always, guys, what's your bold prediction for 2025 in Formula 1? I'll be doing mine closer to the time when we start the season, but I want to hear what yours are. Let us know in the comments below. Like, share, comment, subscribe as always, guys, to see much more content like this on the world of Formula 1. And yeah, have a great day, have a great week ahead, and let's have a great season in F1 as well.